coffee because I don't know about you, but I have to start whatever I'm doing with coffee. I'm going to start with a couple spoons of Illy coffee here. This was one of my top coffee experiences of my life. I was actually at the UN because I had won this competition that took me to cook for the ambassadors of the United Nations a whole lot of years ago. And this was like my first exposure to like how the world, how expansive and how beautiful the world could be, and really, you know, where culinary arts could take you. So my mom and I are at the Australian ambassador's private residence. So if you think brownstone building there in New York, really close to the United Nations, and they have multiple floors. If you can imagine, they have multiple kitchens. They have a basement kitchen. They have a kitchen that they really cook out of. And then on the third floor, they have the kitchen where the residents, like what they enjoy and what they use. So the maid of the residence brings us to the middle kitchen, and she's like, oh, let's have some coffee. And she brings this out. And I had never seen this, so I'm about 19 years old at the time, and I'm like, what in the world is this contraption? And I'm like, I thought we were gonna have coffee. So she takes out this coffee too, which I had never had. This is Illy Classico, okay. And so she goes to do what I'm gonna do right now. So I have here some boiling water, and I have here a couple of teaspoons or tablespoons. Really, it depends on the strength of coffee that you like, but 2 per cup, right? So, oh, careful. I'm gonna steep that with just a bit of the water that I brought to a boil. And that's called blooming your coffee. That's gonna sit for about 30 seconds or so, and that allows the coffee granules to really open up, okay? So 30 seconds, and that's just gonna, again, bloom. But anyways, so we're sitting there at the table with the ambassador's maid, and she's just talking about, you know, what it's like to live there, what it's like to work for the ambassador and the family, what's day-to-day like. And imagine 19-year-old me is like, wow, okay, what am I doing here? This is a big pinch me moment. And as this coffee is steeping, I can smell the aroma. I can smell the quality of this coffee. And I was used to your run-of-the-mill coffee at 19 years old. You know, your college kid running out of the house with coffee, that's what I did. But never knew about that there's levels to this. So it's been about 30 seconds, so now I'm gonna put in the rest of the really, really hot water. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then I'm gonna put this lid onto it, okay? Now this is going to sit for a minute or so, and then you're gonna see I'm gonna press out. I'm gonna bring this down, and that's gonna press out the water, really, which has the coffee steeped into it. So really cool contraption. You can get them anywhere. You could get them online, but it's worth it. So if you're having people over and you wanna have coffee as an experience, not just put on a pot, this is really cool. I also have one that's copper, and that's beautiful. But yeah, you can get these pretty much anywhere, and you can turn coffee into an experience, right? In here I have grass-fed half and half. You know, buy the good stuff. Put the good stuff in your body. And I don't drink sugar with my coffee. I don't have sugar with my coffee, but if not, you can use a raw sugar. I like raw sugar. If I am gonna have sugar, raw sugar. That has a little bit of that molasses or brown sugar flavor. So instead of having white granulated sugar that has no flavor, add another layer of flavor by using sugar in the raw. Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna press this down. Okay, and what goes to the top is actually the coffee that you're gonna drink. So if I was having other people over, I would fill this to the top, but it's just me, so I'm just gonna have a little bit of coffee with a touch of my grass-fed half and half. So today I'm actually cooking lunch for my family, and I thought, oh, what can I throw together that feels satisfying, feels slightly luxurious, but not expensive, and I can really throw this down in just a few minutes, not too complicated, and but a ton of flavor, okay? I want them to think that I spent a lot of time cooking, a lot of time prepping for this, or really just giving it a lot of thought. But really, I'm going to cook up a little bit of beef and a really delicious garlic butter. Okay, I'm going to pour myself the coffee. Beautiful. All right. So the other day, oh.
1 second, sorry, fixing something. What is this?
Here we go.
That is not working.
Hi, Vicki. Thank you for loving this. Okay, so I'm going to stir in. Let's see. Oh, that's good. That's good. Remember, the next time you're going to make yourself coffee, treat yourself to a really nice cup of coffee. Make sure you treat yourself to Illy French press. And think of me at 19-year-old me at the ambassador's home where I was exposed to another level of coffee. All right, let's get cooking. Some people cook with wine, some people cook with coffee. Okay, so as I start this recipe while I'm making lunch for the fam, I like to do this double cutting board trick thing here, which is if I'm cutting meat, I don't necessarily like to cut on my beautiful wooden slab. I like to get a different cutting board. Christopher and Benjamin. There goes my babies, Benjamin and Christopher. No, Christopher. Every time. Okay. So here I have an inside skirt that I actually asked my butcher to prepare for me. Skirt steak is one of those things that can come up really thin when you just buy it without requesting it from your butcher. I don't like buying it as it comes in the store because to the naked eye, it's full. You think it's a nice thick piece of meat, but really, when you unfold it after you get home, you find out that it's like this paper thin piece of meat. Not fun to cook with, not fun to eat either. So I'm going to take off some, not all, but I'm going to clean up some of this extra fat and maybe some silver skin that's on the bottom, but not all of it needs to come off. This is pretty thin and will render as we cook it. Okay. So I'm going to chop up some squares here. Here we go. And I'm going to cut them into about inch squares. So how I do that is I cut along the grain and make strips.
You're out of the frame, by the way.
Right.
Out of frame,
Okay, so here I'm going to cut them like so. Up? This way?
If you see it left, you see it right.
Oh, here we go. Okay, thank you. Okay, so 1-inch cubes. They look like this. That's going to go into the bowl. Here we go. So by cutting these 1-inch squares, not only does it make it really nice to cook quickly, but flavor gets around all the edges of these cubes. Okay. And you can do this the night before, a couple nights before as well. You don't have to do this the day of that you're cooking. So this is just something that I like to throw together the last minute because, again, not a lot of work. There is a lot of flavor in this recipe. Not a lot of cleanup either. And people just love a good, a good like steak meal, steaky, beefy meal with garlic butter. Who doesn't like garlic butter? Like, okay. You guys had to see Christopher and Benjamin. They started barking, I think, once I started mentioning garlic butter. I told you I have a problem. They're foodie dogs. They've grown up around food constantly. Okay, so this is what I meant about using the double cutting board thing. So now this cutting board goes in the sink, and I have a clean work surface for the rest of my recipe. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands. Okay. Now, here you can use your favorite seasoning, but because I am going to make this super delicious garlic butter, I'm just going to put salt and pepper on it. I like to use a nice coarse ground kosher salt. I wash my hands and then I'm going to really get right back into it. Here we go. Kosher salt all around it. Make sure there's enough to go around and that it hits every piece. Okay. Okay. And then freshly ground black pepper. And we're going to be generous with this as well. We're going to treat this like we treat the steaks over at Chef Adrian's. Lots of nice salt and pepper. Okay. Black pepper isn't spicy. I know it's a misconception and people think just because it says pepper that it's spicy, but it's not. In flavor profiles, it's actually known as being fruity. So, not spicy, just fruity. Okay, so we give this a nice mix. Make sure that the pepper and the salt is touching all the cubes of meat. Now, if you don't have inside skirt, you can use outside skirt. You can use flank steak for this. You can use a Denver steak. You could use New York strip, top sirloin, really. So this recipe is really, really versatile. Now I'm going to get a pan nice and hot. Whoop, there we go. That turned on. So. Oh.
Do you recommend any black pepper?
The chat says, do I recommend grinding my own black pepper? Absolutely. At the restaurant, we buy the peppercorns and we grind them every other day or so. The amount of difference, the flavor difference, this is like if you had your radio to 2 in the car and you're enjoying us, and then your favorite song comes on and you crank the volume up to 10. That's what grinding your own pepper is. You're playing child games, you know, kids games with store-bought pepper. You don't know how long that's been on the shelf. It's probably been in there for years, and because it's such a small granular item, that's getting oxidized. But when you get the peppercorn and you just throw it in the blender, you don't even need like a fancy spice grinder. You just put it in your blender, do a little bit at a time. You don't need to do a whole lot, and that's going to change all the dishes that you use black pepper in. It's game changer. Okay, so I got a pan working here. Now what we want is for it to get really nice and hot. We don't want medium heat, we don't want medium low. And the reason for that is once your steak that's full of moisture hits medium or medium low heat, that's going to create steam, and we don't want to steam our meat. We want to sear it, create a crust, and cook it fast. So.
Adrian, that pot
Yes?
is in the frame back there. Do you need it in the frame? Or
This?
Yeah.
If it's in that's our garlic butter.
Okay.
Can they see it?
Yeah, that's just a stove.
Okay, perfect.
So, you know,
Because,
I just don't
we want that.
a situation.
yeah. Okay, this isn't as hot as I want it to be yet. So we're going to start chopping up our flat leaf parsley for our garlic butter. Now.
You have to move the steak because it's in the frame.
Okay. Here and
See it.
okay. Let's get a different knife. What knife do we take out of here? which knife do we want to use? No, no. This looks like fun. Okay, so to chop up our parsley as fast as we can, we kind of bunch it up in our hand and we run the knife like so. That way you don't have parsley everywhere, and as soon as you kind of crush it through the first time, it lets you run your knife quicker. If you just put that bunch out and start chopping, you're going to go crazy. Having it all bunched up in one area allows you to get this done at a more organized and quicker pace. Now, this is a trick that we use for garlic, but you put a little bit of salt on here, and that abrasion helps you chop it as well and gets the liquid out of the parsley, gets the flavor out as well. Okay, we're pretty good here. All right, so that smells great. Guys, do not cook with curly parsley. Now, if you can't get your hands on flat leaf parsley, omit it from the recipe, or see if you can use other herbs. But flat leaf parsley has a distinct flavor. And I mean, as I'm chopping it, I'm smelling it. Curly parsley is made for decorating. Like when you take a nice roast out of the oven, this all started in like the 70s, and housewives and chefs, they used to take a roast out and then fill the outside with curly parsley. Not my favorite, it's not my style, but that's what people did. It's not meant for cooking. Flat leaf parsley, on the other hand, is meant for cooking. This is the one with a ton of flavor. It's not just water. Okay, we're good here. It's time to go to our hot pan. Okay, now we're gonna dump our seasoned meat into our pan. Yeah, that's the sizzle you want. Okay. So we're going to make sure that they're not mounted too much on top of each other. Perfect. There's enough space in this big, nice, wide pan for everybody. Yeah, here we go. I think they're all on one level. We're gonna let this cook for a couple minutes before we start touching it again. Okay, back here on this pan, I have a deep pot with some minced garlic and unsalted butter. I'm gonna melt that down. I'm going to season that with a little bit of salt and crushed red pepper flakes. It gets about about a half a teaspoon of salt. That's good. A pinch of red pepper flakes. If you like it spicier, add a little bit more. I like it spicy. Perfect. Then we're going to add the juice of 1 lemon. Much more easily. Cut that in half. We're going to squeeze that into the butter and garlic mixture. Okay, that's good. Now, to this butter, I can add Worcestershire sauce, W sauce. I can add a touch of Dijon mustard if I wanted to. I could even add anchovies, and anchovies and garlic butter, delicious. But I'm gonna keep it simple today. Again, unsalted butter goes in a pot, minced garlic, a whole lot of it, fresh parsley, crushed red pepper flakes, and lemon juice. This butter is actually very versatile as well. This butter, you can throw it on some grilled shrimp, grilled fish. You can roast off some cauliflower. This goes really wonderful over some roasted potatoes. But today we're making some steak tips. Okay. Okay, that's working. Like I said, we don't want to flip this over. We want it to cook about 3/4 of the way. We want it to cook about 3/4 of the way on one side before we flip it. Okay. Our garlic butter is looking wonderful. Want to make sure that that butter melts fully. We don't want to brown the butter. We just want to get it melted down. Let me get my trusty scraper for the cutting board. Looks delicious. Hi, Mike. Thank you. Oh, I mean, it looks delicious, but I wish you could taste this. But since you can't taste this, because you're on the screen, you try making it at home. Very easy. And I'm sure whoever you're making it for is going to love you times a million. Oh, we talked about shrimp, we talked about fish, we talked about roasted potatoes, but this garlic butter is actually fantastic with just chicken breast. Everybody loves a good, just plain old grilled chicken breast. But you probably had it a million times, right? So next time you're just throwing that chicken in a pan or on the grill, make this garlic butter and put it on top. I mean, I'm telling you, it's delicious. Okay. So now I'm going to take this flat leaf parsley and it's going to go into my garlic butter and I'm going to turn it off. Now I'm going to turn it off because I don't want to kill the parsley that's in there. I just want it to steep right into the butter. Okay. That is a beautiful butter. Oh. Wow. Where's my grilled snapper? Hogfish snapper. Yum. I think I want to put a little bit more crushed red pepper flake in here. Yeah. Now we're talking. That's perfect. I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to look for a dish to serve my steak tips on. Okay, this is the color we're looking for. This is why we don't mess around in the pan prior. There we go. Okay. Guys, drop in the chat, how do you like to prepare your steak? Or what's your favorite weeknight meal, like one pot meal that you have a few minutes to throw together? What do you like cooking for your friends and family? Let me know, drop it in the chat. Okay, so I'm flipping these over. So, chef trick. If I'm feeling like I want to mess around with my family's palate and make them think that I've made the best steak tips of all time, and they won't be able to figure it out, they won't be able to put their finger on why is this so good, I'm going to throw in a splash. I'm going to throw in a splash of soy sauce in there. Light sodium, soy sauce or tamari if you want to be gluten-free. And that adds this level of umami. That's that other taste sense. So you have sweet, sour, salty, bitter, spicy, but then you have that umami that's found in Parmesan cheese. It's found in tomato skins, truffle, and that's why people really, really love Chinese food, but they don't know why. It's because it's loaded with soy sauce. It's why we crave chocolate. It's loaded in chocolate. It's loaded into mushrooms. So when people can't put their finger on why is it that I love Parmesan cheese so much or tomatoes, that's why we love pizza so much. It's not really so much the cheese, it's because it's loaded with that concentrated tomato sauce. So, okay. Chat, can I use coconut aminos instead? Absolutely. Coconut aminos they can replace soy sauce. They can replace a lot of that, or MSG. Coconut aminos is a fantastic substitute. All right, so let's check this out. I am cooking for my grandmother, who's close to 100 pretty much. No, she's 80 something years old, and she does like her meat well done, so I'm not gonna leave it medium or medium rare, but for me, I would pull this off already, but since I'm cooking for a group, I'm gonna get it a little bit closer to well done. And I think I am going to throw in a splash of soy sauce. Why not? Here we go. I'm gonna get the soy sauce real quick. There we go. Okay. Just a small splash. That's great. And that's gonna help caramelize the bottom of the pan here too. That's just outstanding. So side dishes for these garlic butter steak tips. Riced cauliflower, mashed potatoes, roasted vegetables. I was working this morning. I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning, so I made homemade mashed potatoes that I have working on I had working on the pan on the side. But side dishes can be made days in advance and stored so that on the day that you're cooking, you just whip them out, heat them up, right? But I wanted, in my head, I was thinking when that garlic butter is oozing off of the steak tips, I want it to mix in with that creamy mashed potatoes. So, okay, chat. Can I reuse that pan and glaze to cook something else in there? That's a great question. Not really. I wouldn't glaze something else in there. I would, like, let's say that you had roasted carrots and they were in the oven and you wanted to maybe coat them in those pan juices. That would be pretty delicious. But what I used to love to do when I was growing up was when my grandmother would make steaks in a pan, and it was pretty similar to this. I mean, there were thinner steaks, but with garlic, and she would marinate them in garlic and sour orange and cook them. I mean, she'd probably cook them to death, but the juices in the pan were so delicious. It was the juices from the meat and then mixed with the garlic, it would caramelize, and I would get bread. And then I would just take those pan drippings and enjoy that bread while I was waiting for the meal to be completed. But those pan juices, those pan drippings are so incredibly irresistible. Make sure you get a piece of bread, doesn't even have to be toasted or anything, and dip your bread in those juices. We are close to being done. There we go. How do you know you're close to being done? When you touch it and it's firm enough, this right here, that means it's done. So, gonna turn off the heat. You see how that liquid is a nice deep brown? That's what you want. You don't want water. Okay? So now I'm gonna get a bowl. So the question is, do I use these pan drippings, now that we're talking about the pan drippings, and make an au jus? Yeah, oh, chat, you said au jus. Yes, You can definitely make an au jus. Now you're making a sauce from your pan drippings, absolutely. So if these pan drippings right here, I can add a little bit of beef stock, thicken it with a roux, I have an au jus. I can also save this and make a base for a really delicious soup later on. Okay, so let's do this. Whew, that looks fantastic, people. Fantastic. That's gonna go in there, juices and all. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And now, over the top here goes our delicious garlic butter. Wow, the smell in here is incredible. I'm gonna save some for later. And now I'm gonna make sure that my steak tips get evenly coated on that. Ooh, can you? This is the kind of food that you daydream about. Like, I know they're gonna enjoy this in a little bit, but they're gonna be talking about this next week, the week after that, the week after that. They're going to be saying, Adri, when are you gonna make the garlic steak tips again? The garlic butter steak tips. This is gonna be on repeat, for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna get a plate and spoon a little bit of mashed potato. There it is. Hey, up here, say hello. Come here, come here. Hey, say hello. Here we go, Christopher. Hi. Christopher, you cannot have garlic steak tips. You can't. Nope. Nope, not for you. I know I said they were for the family, but you have your own food. Benjamin, you can't see Benjamin because he's a corgi and I'm going to get, okay. So I have some mashed potatoes here, and now I'm gonna put, oh, this is great. Yep, this is what I was talking about, guys. Put a little bit more. Wait, I gotta see if you guys can see this. I'm trying to, there we go, up, up. You see the garlic on there? Ah, and that butter's dripping into the mashed potatoes. Yum. Okay. Dad, you want to try it? Okay. Let's let him try it here. You can be the first to try it. You want me to cut you a piece? Come on. Oh, this, you don't even need a knife for this. Ah, okay, here, give it a try.
Give it a try.
He found the toy.
He found the toy.
Wow.
Yeah? All right, okay.
Excellent.
Okay, after, we'll set the table and we'll have this. So guys, this is something that you can whip up, you know, it's a weeknight, it's a weekend, you don't want to spend a ton of time in the kitchen, you don't want to spend a ton of time cleaning up, you want a ton of flavor, and you just want your friends and family to feel cared for, you want them to have something very delicious. Garlic butter steak tips, okay? All right. Okay. All right, so next, stick around, and we're gonna We're gonna have a little conversation. This or that, right?
Oh, you want to get mic'd up? Yeah. I got you. Yeah. I just need.
Do I have time to clean up or we're going straight
Yeah,
into?
you got time to clean up. I gotta fix
Oh.
some stuff anyways.
Okay.
Test, test, test. Test, 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 test.
The next segment is sponsored by
Test, test, test.
Soap and Bounty.
Hello, test, test. You hear me? Do you hear me speaking? Do you hear me speaking? Hello, hello, hello.
Did you guys notice that we resanded the board?
I did
I noticed
not.
that the circle.
There's no circle.
There's no circle anymore?
Yeah, my dad fixed it yesterday.
Nice.
Yes.
Eric will be really happy. I thought she just had it upside down.
I thought she just had it upside down too.
No, the other side is worse.
How did that circle happen there?
It was burned into it, like the bottom of a pan. Yeah. I'm ready when you are, so you know.
Yes, I'm ready. I just need you in the frame.
Oh, me? Yep. All right.
No, not that, but the other because we're at 37 minutes. And we're not hitting the 2.5 hours. We might need to add more segments.
Okay, then we're gonna make that corn.
Oh, you want to do it?
We can do it.
We don't have to do it right now. We're way
Okay.
over hours right now.
Okay.
But to hit 2.5, we might need to add more segments to our line. But that is good. We go back to the drawing board.
Okay,
What
heard.
else are we doing? We might need to do 2 challenges or 2 recipes. You know, whatever it is.
Okay.
So are we ready for
We're
the
ready.
challenge of the day?
Let's go.
Grab your
Let's do it.
coffee, get comfortable.
We're what?
Get comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
Okay, so we're gonna rank some items.
Okay.
Some different categories, and you're gonna rank them from 1 to 5.
I'm ranking them from 1 to 5.
Correct.
Okay.
So the first category is chocolate bars. I'm gonna give you 5 chocolate bars, and you need to rank them from 1 to 5. 1 being your top, and 5 being your least favorite.
Okay.
So the first one is Crunch. The second one is Recess. The third one is
No.
Snickers.
You gotta blind rank them, and she doesn't know what comes next. So you say, okay, Crunch. Oh, Crunch is good, but I think I'm gonna put that at.
Got it.
You don't
Okay.
know what's coming next. You gotta blind rank them.
Okay. Let's go.
So it's a blind rank.
Okay. From 1 to 5.
Right.
You're gonna give me
Recess.
5 chocolate bars.
Recess is your first chocolate bar. Where are you ranking that?
Recess is a 1.
Okay. Snickers.
Is a 2.
Crunch.
Crunch is a 3. You're giving them to me as I like them. How funny.
Hershey's.
5.
Kit Kat.
4.
Okay, so
Hey, that was
How you feel like
perfect.
the list went?
This list was
so
pretty awesome.
are we ready for the next category, or do you want her to repeat from 1 to 5?
Mhm.
Are we ready for the next category?
Yeah, whatever.
All right,
Okay.
the next category is movie genres.
Movie genres, okay.
Horror.
Horror is a 5. I can't do scary movies.
Okay. Comedy.
Number 1. Comedy is number 1 for me.
Action.
Ray, hey Ray, what's good? What's good? This hanging out here with you guys, talking about food, movies, candy bars, some recipes. That's what's good. Thanks for coming on.
All right, action. Where does that fall in there?
Action number 3.
Okay, a rom-com.
Rom-com number 2. Rom-com is a 2. Ah, that could have been a 1.
So 1 is comedy, 2 is rom-com.
Yeah,
3
okay.
is, or you haven't got it?
Action.
Action. What about a documentary?
I love a good documentary, but sometimes they can be boring. So that'll be 4.
Okay, so 5 being horror.
5, actually, horror should be 10. That's how far down the list it is.
Okay, coffee is your next category.
Coffee is my next category.
And we're starting with,
This setup is so sick. Thank you. This is actually my home kitchen. So cooking from my home to yours. Okay.
all right, coffee is your next category, and
Okay.
we're starting with a cappuccino.
Cappuccino is a 3 for me.
Okay, what about a latte?
Latte is a 4 for me.
Espresso,
Espresso is a 2 for me.
flat white,
5.
cortado,
Cortado. Oh, so coffee, so American coffee is not even on the list. Then I have to rearrange my list then.
okay. Is
Sorry.
that allowed, producer?
Producer, can I rearrange my
You
list?
gotta go with the punches. You don't know what's gonna come next.
So I'm stuck with a cortado as 1? Yeah,
Yep.
but this isn't facts, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying my kitchen is gorgeous. Thank you so much.
So we're going with cortado number 1.
We're not going with cortado. You're making me have cortado as number 1. Espresso is really my number 1 then, out of that list. But fine, game rules apply here.
And that's all for this.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
It's still on.
I got it. I'm turning off. Well, we got time for anything we want. We've only been streaming for 42 minutes.
There's just endless things to do. So,
What do you want to do?
so what I want to do is we have.
Internet dropped out. We're back.
Okay, so for those of you watching, I'll be live on KTLA October 2nd doing 5 tailgate recipes, maximum flavor style. So these are recipes that are gonna make you and your guests not wanna watch the game because they're gonna be eating what you made. And if these tailgate snacks are not at your next tailgate, you're gonna cancel it, trust me. These are not like your average tailgate recipes. What we have left to do is the corn ribs, elote style. So you wanna try? Elote style corn ribs. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the sauce that's gonna go in first. This is good. Let me get a spoon. So, another knife. Okay, so for the elote corn ribs, I have here the chili lime sauce. Well, no, look at this. I have a lemon. That's actually one of my biggest pet peeves when I ask for a lemon or a lime and they bring me the opposite. Guys, the green one is a lime and the yellow one is a lemon. So here, like I said, I'd like to hit my citrus and roll it because that's going to make sure that I get the most amount of juice out of it without having to like kill my hands squeezing out the juice. I'm going to cut that in half. I have here some mayo, tahini, or chili powder will do, but tahini hits on all notes. Tahini slaps. You got a little bit of acid. You got different chilies, dried citrus in the tahini itself, and then I'm going to squeeze the lime right into there. Yeah, that's a good amount of juice. Here we go. Then we get corn, and we're going to see, that's going to be the fun part to see if that works. Because sometimes the corn does not come off in the shape of ribs like I'm going to want it to. Okay, so we're going to mix this up. And this is another one of those sauces that go really well with several things, like roasted vegetables. I really enjoy this with, believe it or not, roasted broccoli or charred Brussels sprouts, crispy kale, any of those greens like that. This chili lime mayo or tahini lime mayo goes awesome. Okay, off to the side. Let's bring our corn.
Somebody said something in the chat, by the way.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Ray. Great, keep up the great work. Okay, thank you. Okay, so here I have corn on the cob. This is the kind of corn that you get at your grocery store. I like to get really sweet corn, but you can get any corn really, and you don't have to get the prepared corn. You can get it in the husk and all of that. But once you have it like this, it's easier to work with. Now, we're trying this in real time, so let's see if it works. I might have to use a serrated knife, but here we go. We might have to use the serrated knife for real. Because, yeah, that's not gonna work. So it may not be corn ribs, it might be corn nibs, because this is what we're looking for. Whole pieces of corn, okay? Corn nibs, guys. It's all in the terminology. Where is the serrated knife? Here we go. Different tools for different fools. There we go. It's gonna be corn nibs. Let's see, this. We're getting closer, so yeah. Okay, so we just learned in real time that the way to go to get as close as to ribs as possible is actually to use the serrated knife. Let me see, are we in? Okay. So we get as close as we can here to like the navel, the center of the corn. Let's see, there we go. Okay. There we go. This is working now, except I tore it apart. Here we go. This is what we want. Perfect. Okay, so let's try to replicate this. There we go, we did it again. So we have a couple here. Okay, and then we did it again. Okay, this is going great. Now I'm going to put my oven to broil. So we're going to try to repeat the same thing with a couple more of these cobs. Okay. And what I'm going to do is line these up here, like so. And I'm not wasting any of this. This took some work. Okay. But this is really delicious, guys. It's actually worth it. Once you get the hang of it, it's not hard. So, see, perfect. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, let's see. This is like playing roulette here. Let's see if you're lucky enough to get to the exact point where you're sliding down and it's enough to hold together like all the kernels. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, and all the loose ones, you can just make like a corn salad or relish. No, that didn't work. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I am going to spray this with a little bit of beef tallow. Okay. And it's going to go into the oven for a few minutes. Broil on high. clean this area up a bit. I'm going to use some of that, actually. I'm going to put this back in here. So did you guys know that you can use this, steep this in heavy cream or milk and make a really delicious homemade corn ice cream, corn pudding? I mean, very delicious. There's a ton of flavor in the center of the corn. Side. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Here we go. Oh. I'm going to go grab some green onion, and I'll be right back. 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to chop up some green onion because when that corn comes out of the oven, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of this chili, of the tahine lime mayo on it, and then I'm going to put some chopped green onion over the top. So Ray, since you love cooking as well, drop in the chat, what's your favorite thing to cook? I mean, whatever it is, whether it's savory or sweet, snacks, full plates. Let me set that aside. And does anybody in the chat actually make things for tailgate, or do you just buy chips and dip and call it a day? How many of you guys are actually into cooking? You know. I see Toon Mike. When people come over, I make my specialty water and ice. Thumbs down, Mike. Thumbs down. At least buy some chips and dip. Come on. Water and ice. No. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay. Nope, that's not done yet. We just want that heated through nicely. Okay. Let's see. What plate should I use for the corn ribs? I think we're going to use a wooden plate. Okay. What do you guys think for the corn ribs? We're thinking wood. So think corn up, you know. How you serve the stuff is half the battle, right? Because that's when your guests are going to get their first impression by looking at it. So I think, I mean, this is the color scheme here. I think I'm going to, so that they both look good. What do you think, Vicki? Corn. Yeah. Wood? Wood. Let's go with the wood. Wood it is, people. Let's check the oven. Okay, we're getting close. It's smelling like corn in here. If we keep this up, we get popcorn. I think next time, since the season is coming, I think let's make like kettle corn. Do you like kettle corn? The season of all these harvests, like fall, autumn festivals is around the corner. And every time you go to one of these festivals, there's a few things that are like you absolutely have to get. Kettle corn is one of them, and it's so easy to make at home, and you can make a ton of it, and it'll last you for a really long time. And then there's like apple cider and apple fritters, apple everything. But we should make our own apple fritters here. Yum. All right, let's check this because it's smelling. Okay, now it's starting to toast up. So this is where we have to keep a really close eye on it because it'll really turn very fast. We're getting close. Okay, so in about 10 seconds, 10 to 30 seconds, we'll take them out. The anticipation. Nope, a little more. Here we go. All right. Ow, that is very hot. Okay. Okay, so, actually I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom of the plate here. Okay, so let's chef it up a little bit like so. Now I'm going to put a rib, it's very hot, a nib. Too hot to handle. I think that's a song. Another. This is going to be a corn salad, people. It's going to be elote is what it's going to be. Okay. Oh yeah, but the tallow, it works fantastic with this. Okay. Now I put a little bit more of that tahini and lime mayo over the top. Let's add a little bit more tahini. Okay. And add a splash of lime just to wake that up. Okay. Oh, guys. This is, oh, the smell. So delicious. So easy. Perfect snack for tailgating. The ribs didn't exactly come out how I planned, but now they're corn nibs, people, nibs. All right. Oh, Toon Mike, you chose the wood too. All right, same taste, we have the same taste. Let's give this a try. Okay, get a little bit of that sauce, the corn, the green onion. That pop, oh yeah, that's fantastic. Okay. Wow. All right, let's see if Mikey likes it. Mikey, you're up.
I'm up.
You're up. Do you like corn? Okay. We're going to talk about this. If you don't like corn, we're going to talk about this.
If I don't like corn,
we're going to talk about
we're
this.
going to talk about this.
Yes,
okay,
because, all right, go. Try. Make sure you get some of that.
Where do I start with it?
Huh? You get,
Where do I start?
get some of the sauce.
Okay, so like
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
And this is it.
That's it, but make sure you get some, well, I got to make sure you get some green
Get
onion.
some green onion.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's fine. The one that got away. All right, go. Give it a try.
Wait, you can eat it straight off the like.
Yes.
I usually have like single corns, if there is.
We try to make ribs, and now we're making nibs, guys.
Okay, so I can eat this.
Yes.
That's safe to eat.
Eat the corn.
I wanted to know. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Like if it was dangerous, 3, 2, he needed a countdown. How is that?
That was really good.
The pop, right?
Mm-hmm. I could eat that sauce by itself.
The sauce is fantastic.
I don't even, the corn, no, the corn was good.
Okay.
But that sauce is what's up.
Right? You saw how easy? 3 ingredients?
Yeah.
Lime, tahini, mayo. Now, I don't want to see all you guys coming up on Top Chef and all these shows, and you guys are whipping up a 3-ingredient sauce, and the judges there are like, oh my God, this flavor, licking their fingers and stuff. 3 ingredients to wow the palate. That's maximum flavor. Maximum flavor, baby. That's it. Okay. You got a few more questions?
Yep.
Do I clean up? Can I? You want to have me here? Wow.
Right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's clean up because.
Okay.
So that everything's out of the frame there.
Okay.
Better clean up first.
Let me clean up. I'm going to throw the rest of these green onions on here because These people are going to eat this corn. Is this a corn dish? Would you make this for tailgating? Huh? Be honest. Would you make this for tailgating? No? Anybody here would enjoy this with like an ice cold beer?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because I mean,
What if I've never been to a tailgate? I think I would just enjoy it.
if you've never been to a tailgate, you know, a lot of people haven't been to a real tailgate, but it's fun. It's a reason to cook, and if okay. 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 Is my frame clean? I'm going to save this sauce because people are going to want it later.
I still see the corn, but you should be good.
They're going to eat this corn as well.
That plate, can you use that plate?
Yep. The one that we didn't use. Okay. Okay, I'm ready for you. Let's turn off the hood here.
Hold on. We're offline. Okay. Coming back.
It's gonna be tricky. Only one answer.
Okay.
Not good, bro. We're back.
Okay.
Wait. Bro.
Wait, let me turn this off too while we're here.
Good.
Okay,
All right.
we're good?
Going into the first question, remember, just choose the one you think is best.
Okay.
First question, what is the highest grossing movie of all time as of
Wait,
2025?
hold on.
The highest gross.
I'm giving you options.
Okay.
Your mic is low.
What do you want me to do? You want me to talk here?
Your mic is very low. Okay, there. Let's do it again.
What is the highest grossing movie of all time as of 2025? Avatar, Avengers Endgame, Titanic, or Star Wars The Force Awakens?
Titanic. What's the answer?
The answer is A, Avatar.
Okay.
All right. Next question. Which actor played Eleven in the Netflix series Stranger Things? Sadie Sink, Millie Bobby Brown?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Okay, that's right.
Wow.
Number 3. What was the name of the fictional coffee shop in France? Being There, Daily Grind, Central Cafe, or Central Perk?
Central Perk.
Correct. In which TV show would you hear the phrase "Winter is coming"? The Witcher, Game of Thrones, The Mandalorian, or
Game of Thrones.
Correct. Who voices Mario in the Super Mario Bros. Movie in 2023? Chris Pratt, Jack Black, Charlie Day, or Seth Rogen?
Ah. Can you read that to me again?
Who voices
Mario.
in the Super Mario Bros. Movie in 2023?
Let's go with Jack Black.
And
Who was it?
Chris Pratt.
Ah, all right, Chris. One of the 3 Chris's everybody likes. Okay. That was it?
Yep.
So I got a D.
No.
I-
You got 2.
2 out of 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got it 50%, which is like an F.
You got
You're right, I
three-
didn't get it.
You got 3 right out of 5.
3 out of 5.
You got
Ah,
a D.
okay. No, I think that's still a D. Okay. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's see.
How long are we at now?
We are at an hour and 5 minutes.
All right. Okay, stream. Chat, thanks for hanging out with me today. We covered a few things. We drank coffee together. We cooked for family and friends together. We answered some trivia. We did some candy bar wars, I guess. Hope to see you next time. Next time, let me know. Drop in the chat soon what you want to see me make next. Or just come hang out with me. Bye.